大家好，我是戴老师。今天我要解释一下这个周末的功课。Today I will be explaining the homework for this weekend. In class, I explained to the students about the workbook. We have workbook page 100, which is pretty self-explanatory what to do. But for page 101, there is a circle the phrase and write them down. It's a word search that has no pinyin. So for students that know characters, they can go ahead and attempt that. Look for phrases that we've learned in class and jot them down from number 1 to 12 in no particular order, but we're looking at the ability to recognize phrases in character. But if you are having problems with recognizing the characters, then you can use this sheet that I gave you in class, which has all the pinyin for each character, so you can figure out better what they're saying. And also on this side, I gave you hints for what to look for. So for example, if the hint says grade, and we know that grade is 年级 in Mandarin, so you would be looking for the phrase 年级 on the word search, which is right here, 年级. Number 2, dad, 爸爸. So you would look for that phrase in this word search, which is right here. 爸爸在哪里？爸爸. Okay, so that's what you would be doing. And there's more than 12 phrases, but they're only asking for 12. So fill in either with pinyin or character on the right, the phrases that you're searching for. And the bottom, for the writing the time in Chinese, you can write it in character or pinyin, either one. We're looking to see that you know how to say time in Mandarin. And in class, we went over how to say time on the clock, o'clock, or halfway, or the quarters, or by the minute. So the students should be able to do all that on their own. The next section is page 102, 102页, this page. This page could be a little bit challenging, sections 8, 9, and 10. And so in my video, I am going to help you with this particular page. Section 8 is find 1 or 2 characters for each radical. And there are 10 radicals. These radicals we've not really gone over in class, but the students have learned them by writing them as worksheets. So here they're asking you to give examples of words that contain the radical. This is more of an optional exercise, but I will help you by giving you hints in English of what word to look for. So for instance, number 1, the radical is a person, standing person. And in the gray letter, they put ni, which has that radical ni, you. Another character that has that radical is he or him. So if you know that word, you can write that down in the empty space. 第二, number 2. It's a roof with a chimney, and that radical is found in the word that means family. 第三, 口, that's means mouth, radical. That in itself is a word, but also it is found in number, the word that means number. 第四, the seedling radical. That radical you can find in the word and in Mandarin. Number 5, the radical is sun or day. You can find that radical in yesterday, the character that means yesterday. 第六, 女, that's a female radical. That radical you can find in anything that's female, mother or she, her, they have those radical. 第七, number 7, it's a knife radical, and the word that means quarter, when you want to say 10 and a quarter, for the time, that quarter word has the knife radical. 第八, that radical is rain, 雨, and you can find that in the number 0 in Mandarin. 第九, that radical is an animal radical, and you can find that radical in the word that means alone or single. 第十, that's a two standing person together, and that radical you can find in the word very in Mandarin. So I just gave you hints of what word goes with what radical, and hopefully that'll help you with that section. Section 9, write the pinyin for each word or phrase. Here are the characters with no pinyin, and you're supposed to put pinyin on top of it. And so here I'm going to give you the English meaning of that phrase, and you try to figure out what it is in Mandarin. 第一, work. This phrase means work in Mandarin. 第二, businessman. 第三, the only daughter. 第四, secretary. 第五, lawyer. 第六, phone number. 第七, 2 o'clock. 第八, week, as in 1 week, 7 days. 第九, siblings. So those are the 9 terms that they want you to know when put pinyin for. Section 10, make a question by adding a few words. This section, they gave you a few words, they're asking you to add a few additional words to make that sentence proper. The example, number 1, 第一, they only gave you 你, 家, and 几. So they wanted to add a few words, and the sentence became 你家有几口人? How many people in your family? So you had to add in the word 有口人. So that's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to tell you what the meaning is in English, and you think about what to add in the blank space. Now, for that particular one, that section, there are only 3 different words that you'll be using. The first one is 在. Second one is 有. The third one is 是. Now, 在 means more of a location. So 在, if it's kind of a location, then you would use that. 有 is have or has. 是 it is am/are. So out of these 3 words, what would you put in for this sentence? 第二, number 2. What is the telephone number? Number 2. Number 3, 第三. Where do you live? You only have to add 1 letter to that, 1 character. 第四, who is in his family? 第五, is her mother home? Is her mother there? So in every single space in that section, you only have to add 1 character from the list I just showed you. 在, 有, 是. So decide which one goes there according to the meaning I gave you. So that should help you finish this section. If you're not sure, watch my video again and try to figure it out. The workbook, now that we have textbook and workbook, textbook only for classroom use. We are missing 1 textbook. I failed to collect all the textbook today in class. So if you have a textbook in your possession, please return it, bring it to class next Monday, 星期一. And as far as the workbook, we will not be collecting it every week. After a few weeks, I will collect it and look over what you've done and give you a grade. So we're not going to be collecting the workbook weekly, just periodically, and I will do that and let you know. Lastly, all the workbook is for you to write inside. So all the assignments, please write directly in the workbook. I might here and there give you additional sheets to help you, such as this one with pinyin, because sometimes in the workbook they assume that you already know these characters and they don't put pinyin. So be sure you, if I give you a sheet like this, utilize it if you need to. If you're good at character, you don't need it, then no worries. Just do the workbook on your own. So I hope I answered questions. If you have need additional help, you can go ahead and email me. So that is all for this week. 谢谢你，下星期见，再见。